For over 15 months, my wife acted like I didn't exist in the bedroom. I waited, hoped, supported her, never pressured her. And then one night, out of nowhere, she pounced on me like nothing had ever happened, like I should be grateful. I told her no. And now, she's acting like I betrayed her. So I'll ask you honestly, was I wrong for saying no after being ignored for so long? My wife and I met in the kind of whirlwind romance that made people roll their eyes and secretly hope for the same. I was 29, she was 27. We had both just exited complicated relationships. Mine, a long-distance entanglement that fizzled into resentment. Hers, a possessive ex who made her question every step she took. So when we met, it was like breathing clean air for the first time. We connected quickly through late-night walks, inside jokes, and a mutual obsession with crime documentaries. But what made me fall for her, truly, was how safe she made me feel. She didn't need fixing, and neither did I. We saw each other not as projects, but as people. We got married 3 years later. The honeymoon phase was real for us. And yes, we had a great sex life in the early years. It wasn't just about physical satisfaction. It was emotional, playful, and connected. It was one of the ways we bonded. We talked through everything. At least we used to. Things started changing around year 5. She switched careers, from teaching to a high-pressure marketing firm. She was excited, driven, and determined to succeed. I was proud of her. But I also started noticing small shifts. She was coming home later, skipping meals, and emotionally drained. Her phone became her constant companion. At first, I chalked it up to the stress of adjusting to a new job. I encouraged her to unwind. I planned a little surprise dinner. I even started meal prepping just to lighten her load. But the bedroom went silent. At first, it was once or twice, then weeks, then months. I tried to talk about it, gently. Not in a "why won't you sleep with me" kind of way, but in a "are we okay" kind of way. She always said the same thing. "I'm just tired, babe. Not tonight, I had a rough day. Can we just cuddle?" And we did for months. Cuddling turned into her scrolling endlessly on her phone while I just stared at the ceiling. Sometimes I'd fall asleep before her. Other times I'd just get up and go sit on the couch until the ache in my chest dulled. But I never forced it, never guilt her. I made a choice to love her where she was. I told myself intimacy wasn't everything. But the truth is, intimacy isn't everything until it's nothing. 15 months. That's how long it had been since we'd had sex. Over a year of sleeping next to someone I loved deeply and feeling like a ghost in my marriage. And here's the thing, this isn't just about sex. It's about rejection. Daily, hourly, quiet rejection. When you reach for someone and they flinch. When your goodnight kisses go unanswered. When you dress nicely and they don't even look up. I started feeling ashamed of my own need. I conditioned myself out of trying. I didn't want her to feel pressured. I told myself I could be okay without it. So I stopped initiating. I shut that part of myself down. Entirely. I buried the part of me that needed touch, connection, and affirmation. I became a supportive husband. The one who told her she was beautiful. The one who took care of her during her health scares. She had some female-related issues that affected her hormones and energy, and I respected that. Massively. But after a while I started wondering. If I stopped being her husband tomorrow, would she even notice? I wanted to be wanted. And I wasn't. It was a Saturday night. We were watching TV on the couch. Something dumb, background noise. She was scrolling TikTok and I was half watching a movie. Then out of nowhere, like a total gear shift, she straddled me. Laughing, playfully biting her lip like old times. "Let's go to bed," she whispered. I froze. Her hands were under my shirt. Her lips on my neck. I hadn't felt her this way in over a year. It was like flipping a switch from dead to electric. But all I could feel was confusion. Not arousal. Not desire. Confusion. Sadness. Even a little anger. She noticed I wasn't responding and sat back. "Babe?" she asked, confused. You okay? I sat up, gently moved her hands off me and just breathed. It doesn't work like that, I said softly. She blinked. What do you mean? You can't just ignore me for over a year and then expect me to be ready in an instant, I replied. I've been here. I've tried. For months I tried. And every time I was shut down. I got used to pretending I didn't want you because it was easier than getting hurt every time. Her face changed. First confusion, then hurt, then defensive anger. So now you're punishing me? She snapped. No, I said. I'm trying to explain. I love you. I want us, but I need time. You can't just come back after 15 months and expect me to flip a switch. My heart's been protecting itself. She got quiet. So you don't want me anymore? That question shattered me. I do, I whispered. But I don't trust this. I don't know what changed, or why now. I need to understand before I can just go there again. She stormed off, slept in the guest room, and didn't speak to me the next morning. Over the next few days, the house was cold. She was hurt. I could see it in how she avoided eye contact, and how short her answers were. How quiet the house felt even with both of us in it. I tried to talk. I didn't mean to reject you. I just needed to feel safe again. But she'd cut me off with a shrug. Don't worry about it. Message received. I started doubting myself. Had I been too harsh? Had I broken something by setting that boundary? I knew what the internet would say. Men always want sex. That I should have been grateful she finally initiated. That I was being vindictive, punishing her. But that wasn't it. I'd been emotionally starved. And for the first time, I was trying to protect my own heart. To ask for a connection before the performance. But the damage was done. She felt rejected. I felt unseen. We both felt alone. Again. About 2 weeks later, we finally talked. She broke first. I wanted to fix things, she said quietly. That night, I thought maybe if I showed you I wanted you, it would help us reconnect. I nodded. But it felt sudden, I said. No conversation. No build-up. Just action. After 15 months. She looked down. I didn't know how else to show you. I was scared. I've been so disconnected from my own body with everything going on. My hormones, my health. I didn't feel sexy. I didn't feel like a woman. I thought maybe if I acted like I used to, it would feel like we used to. And suddenly I understood. She wasn't trying to use me or control me. She was desperate in her way, reaching out clumsily, like someone falling through ice, grabbing at anything. But I still stood by my boundary. We need to talk. We need intimacy that's more than just sex. I need to feel wanted, not just pulled into bed out of the blue. She cried. I cried. And we promised to rebuild. But it wasn't an easy promise. So here we are. I'm the guy who said no to sex from his wife after 15 months of nothing. She sees it as rejection, as punishment, as unloving. I see it as protecting my heart. We need more than just physical reconnection. As a cry to be seen, not just used. We're in therapy now, working through things. But the wound is there. And so is the question. Am I wrong for saying no to the woman I love when she finally wanted me after 15 months of silence? There's no villain in this story. Just two people drowning quietly in the same house. One starving for touch, the other lost in her shame and stress. We both made mistakes. But I'm still asking, was I wrong for setting a boundary? Was I cruel for not saying yes the moment she was ready, after waiting over a year for that moment to come? Or was this just the cost of too much silence? This is your courtroom now. Was I wrong, or are we both just deeply flawed humans trying to love each other through pain? Drop your verdict in the comments along with your reasoning. And if you want more stories that dig deep into the real, messy complexity of being human, hit that subscribe button. Like the video to show support and share it with someone who might be struggling in silence too. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. and let's decide together.